Hello, gentlemen. Good morning. Welcome back. This is Reviving Real News with you. I'm going to do a little something different here today. I'm going to go off a video that I just listened to. I appreciate the video. Thank you, Lazarus. And I'm going to speak on that. I hope everybody's doing good, doing well, enjoying your weekend. Well, let's dive right into it, gentlemen. What we have inside of us. That is the ultimate question. Most of us, probably all of us, don't even know the answer. And very few of us are lucky enough to know a little bit of what's inside of us. The warrior spirit, the fighting spirit. Don't mistake that for a glutton of punishment. Don't confuse the two. That also goes into a lot of people, especially in my country, the divided states of America, for their own family's doing, are they do not know their heritage because their parents and grandparents and great-grandparents were ashamed because they were indoctrinated to be ashamed of their bloodlines and their heritage. For the vast majority of my life, I had vague ideas of my blood or my heritage for multiple reasons. The color of my hair, my body hair, my facial hair, my attitude, my high levels of energy, all kinds of things. It was, I want to say between 2014 and 2017 is when I actually did get some confirmation. And it's a good piece of my personal puzzle because it answered a lot of questions I've always had about myself. I will dox myself a little bit here, guys. I know where some of my stuff comes from. And it is in my DNA. I am Irish, okay? Gentlemen, again, I am Irish. And I'm damn proud I'm Irish. It also explains why I will, almost all of my life, I've always been conflicted about the isms and about the nonsense of the color stuff. Because for you uneducated and you indoctrinated, you programmed humans and men, I'm here to educate you and revive some real news for you. You want to know who had it harder? The Blicks and the Browns, or my heritage, my bloodline? I dare you to go do some history and do some historical fact searching on that one. Why don't you go see who was brutally beaten, brutalized? They made movies about this stuff. A very, very famous movie in my country called Gangs of New York. Look what they did to my people when they came here on the boat. But for my whole life and my son's lives, I've had to hear about other people. And nobody speaks up about my heritage or my bloodline or how my people got here and why we are here. Now I have answers to all of those things. I know where my passion, my flame, and yes, that is my DNA and my blood, but the other part of it is the ether, your spirit, your faith. My heritage, my bloodline combined with my faith and my spirit is why I'm here. And you can hear the sound of my voice. I've always questioned why I've been able to endure You guys don't even know my childhood. I've only told you the child support part of my life. That's hell enough, okay? That's hell enough. And I can't wait for the day for it to finally be done. No arrearages, no nothing. I can't wait. I can't wait. If and when it ever is going to be over. But that's just a fraction of my fighting as an adult. No men speak about what goes on during childhood. I can tell you my journey started in childhood. And I never understood why I was the way I was. I never did. And I suppose a lot of us are the fighting and the survival stuff kicks in our youth, our adolescence. I'm going to call it for what it is, guys. This isn't the 50s or 60s. A vast majority of you hearing my voice did not come from decent homes, okay? I know this, and I'm not afraid to call it out, okay? You guys can come at me and paint the fake portraits all you want. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I know what a fake family is all about. I know what the pristine Caucasian typical home is. The mom, the dad, the couple kids. I know what it is, and it's all fake. Where the mom and the dad were never in the same rooms together. They never parented the children. We got to do whatever we wanted because they were middle class or upper class Caucasian people. You guys understand what I'm saying with this. Survival. We didn't have it good. A lot of us did not have it good. Our day-to-day was terrible. Our household with our parents were bad. School is school, guys, okay? I'm so sick of what I got to hear every day from these snowflake wimps. You guys don't know what bullying is. You don't know what bad parents are. You know what a trash, specifically a Caucasian trash single mother is. You guys know full well what that is, but you guys don't know what bullying, you don't know what bad parents, plural, are. You don't know what it's like to have an abuse, and I mean brutally abusive father. You guys don't know what it's like to have to fight for your lunch every single freaking 5 days of the school week. This generation of kids has got it all twisted. They don't know what surviving and fighting is. They don't know what bad parents are. A lot of our stuff comes from when we're young. We just don't know why we have it in us. And it is survival. Making it through the everyday, the daily part of the parents' home, surviving the school hours, and then making it back home, and enduring the dinner, and then going to bed and waking up and doing it all over again, okay? As men and young boys, a lot of our out was sports. And if you played sports, as you guys got into it, and the longer you did it, you obviously knew if you had something in you or you didn't. What I mean by that is if you had a fight in you. And I will tell you, in my experience with sports, you either have it or you don't. It's either going to come out in you. Look, everybody's different, okay? Some people are slow learners, or they're the ugly duckling. They look like unfit, unathletic. It takes time, but then eventually they blossom. And you do have the fighting spirit in you, the ability to overcome, to take a punch, to get back up and learn from that punch, how to counter that punch, get up and knock that SOB on his duff, and then you advance to the winner's circle. I will tell you, it probably without sports in my youth, I probably would not have made it to this point in my life. Because I wouldn't have learned how to channel a lot of that inner stuff I had. And I wouldn't have had the outs of the brutally bad childhood. And I don't exaggerate when I tell you that, guys. I don't. I did things as a teenager that I'm not proud of. But I also had no choice, guys. I had no choice. I had to. And at the unimaginable chance my mother, my sister, or any of my blood relatives were to hear this, you guys can go fuck yourselves for what you did to me and what you let happen. You can go fuck yourselves. I can't, to this day, I still question why these things happened to me and were allowed to happen to me. But it's made me a better person. Because I have to look at it this way. Without those verbal, mental, and physical beatings and abuse, I wouldn't have been hardened and toughened for the harsh reality that I've lived. I would have been destroyed. I would have been destroyed when I was 19 years old, 20 years old. I would have been eaten alive by the culture of my country, the urban culture of my country. You guys know where I'm going with that. And I would have been taken way worse than I already have by the females. The fighting spirit, guys. It was only when I got into my 30s that I really realized where my stuff is and it comes from. I'm Irish. Now I know where a lot of my passion, the anger, and my fight comes from. So I don't spend a lot of my time questioning things really like that. And I don't have those thoughts in my head because now I understand. I do understand why I'm the way I am. And I will never let anybody try to tell me different anymore. I will never be guilted or gaslit by a doctor or, well, I don't care about the female stuff. I don't dabble in that anymore, but I will not let anybody get in my head. I know why I have the tone of voice. I know why I have my passion, my fire. I know why I fight. I also know why as long as I'm in the right health in every aspect of my life, I usually don't need to sit around and sleep 8 to 10, 12 hours. I can sleep 6 to 8 hours and wake up and I got my fire and everything. I'm ready to go. And without me having this in me, I wouldn't have survived what I've survived, guys. And I think a lot of men and young boys get their spirit and their heritage beat out of them. And this predictive programming suppresses it. Because you're shamed for your anger and your passion. You're shamed for your testosterone and your masculinity. You're shamed for not cowering and bowing down to this gynocentric, nonsensical bullshit. I've refused my whole life to be coward. I didn't let it happen in homeless shelters. I don't let it happen when I walk out of my house to this very day. Guys, I live in a city. Some people will call my place a sanctuary city in my country. We have everything here. I don't see Russians and I don't see Ukrainians, but I see everything else. I see every other color, every other background here. And it's not safe. It's not safe. People think they can do whatever all the time to me because of the color of my skin. Because I'm not 6'5". But you want to know what happens, guys? when they do walk up or they try their little ism stuff with me. No matter how little I am compared to them. And this isn't bragging, this isn't tooting my own horn, this is just reviving some real news for you. It's what comes out of me that makes them turn back or rethink the words that just came out of their stupid mouth. Weak men don't like it when men like myself speak up and stand up or don't cower. I fought like this my whole life, guys. And a lot of this stuff is because of where I was born and those things that come with it. The territory, surroundings, everything. It's good or bad, but it's made me what I am, and it's how I've survived why I fight. I've never allowed any whatever background or color punk me or bully me, scare me. I didn't let the prison system do this to me. Prison system because of child support. Huh. What a crock of shit. And I gotta see people in the comments run their cocksuckers about, oh, I'm a badass. I've been to blah, blah, blah. You ain't crap, dude. You went to prison for what? Beating up a woman? You went to prison for putting your hands on doing this and that? And you guys get treated better than I do. That's what makes me sick. This country and my society makes me sick. But I'm supposed to go in a corner and cower. No, I will never do that. I will defend myself till my last dying breath. You can kick rocks with you're better than me. You can kick rocks with that. I didn't put my hands on anybody. I didn't rob anybody. I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't take from anybody. I didn't go in somebody's home or vehicle. I didn't sell poison to children. I didn't do disgusting, unmentionable things to women and kids. But you go ahead and you portray on the internet that you're above and better than me. You go ahead and tell yourself when you look in the mirror, you're better than me. Well, I got news for you. In the real world, there is a difference between myself and yourself. I don't think you have no fight in you. I know what I think you have. I know what I think you have, but I'll keep that to myself. I see it and hear it all too often. Those who talk the loudest and bark the most have shit to show for it. Sorry for my language. I've seen men have a fraction of my child support, and I mean a fraction. I'll just go ahead and tell you, I'll tell you. 14, 13 years, my child support was $770 to $780, maybe $750 on it if I was lucky, every 2 weeks. That was my child support, guys. That was more than my rent. You could do the math on that yourself. How in the flip was I am I still supposed to live and survive? I've been told by anybody and everybody in existence to die, kill myself, shut up, go beg, go do this, go do that. I've yet to do any of that crap, and I will not do it. I had it bad as a kid. I fought and I fought and I fought. I fought my dad every day of my life. That man tried to kill me every day. From February 14th, 1990, when his mother died on Valentine's Day, until I left, that man tried to kill me. Mom, you know I'm telling the fucking truth. My sister, you know I'm telling the truth. My godmother, your husband, your brothers, all of you cowards know I'm telling the truth. While you sat there and smoked your cigarettes, you smoked your bowls, you drank your stupid alcohol, and you watched your stupid TV shows and everything. You know I'm telling the truth. I'll never forget. I will never forget. Never. You know darn well the heck I went through as a child. Not one of you did anything. You sat there and encouraged it and let it go on. That didn't stop me and shut me up. And when that didn't work, they tried to come at me and get me when I was an adult. And I still refused it. All I've ever known is fighting. The warrior spirit. But the greatest thing about it is, probably the last couple of years, I see there's much, much good in it. You guys have no clue the vast other fights that I've had to go through, because it's not easy, especially in my country, America. When you get involved with the women and the child support and divorce, it really is the world against you. And I've never I've never had intentions on doing bad stuff. It's been, you get thoughts in your head, you get thoughts and you feel a type of way, but like I said, when I found the truth of why I do what I do, it all made sense. It's not in my blood or my faith or anything, or my heritage to walk away or to quietly disappear in the night. That's not in my makeup. I'm saying this to you guys again. Prison didn't get me. Prison's pretty bad, guys. I mean, it's not like it was in the 90s or the early 2000s, okay? But prison is still prison. Being homeless is pretty... I mean, in some aspects, being homeless or being in a efficiency apartment with nothing is worse than being in prison, guys. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know what hell on earth is. I know what fighting is. And I've done this with nothing and no support system. Gentlemen, I've not had any support system or any kind of guidance or even someone that I could just text and shoot this shit with and say, hey, what's up? What's going on with you? A lot of that is because of how my society is. And the other part of it is my personal choice. Because like I've told you guys many times, I'm well versed in our modern culture. I know what people think of me and view me. Since I have no monetary value to them and they can't manipulate me and use me, people don't want to mess with me. And it is what it is. Do I care? Like I said the other day in my one video, my only regret from all of this or any of this is my lack of social skills. Other than that, I don't regret it. What have I missed? If I would have changed anything, then I wouldn't have my fight. I wouldn't have any of this. I wouldn't know how to survive anything. And I can tell you, as a man, the stupidest thing and the weakest thing to do is to listen to people and shut up. Seriously. If I had listened to a lot of these people, my family included, and a lot of agencies and systems and blah, 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 I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here because they don't want you surviving. They don't want you fighting. They don't want you standing for your morals, your values, your principles, your faiths, your beliefs, your ethics. And they definitely don't want you knowing your heritage and your history. They don't. They do not. Because they don't want us speaking. They don't want us conforming together and understanding why things are the way they are. They don't want us sharing knowledge. Because the most valuable thing in this entire realm and the most dangerous thing in this realm is knowledge. It's not no money or gold. It's not technology or weaponry. It's knowledge. I'm only 39, guys. And I've seen a lot of stronger, bigger dudes. And and a lot of it probably is because of it's not in their DNA. It's not in their blood. And they haven't been around other men to see and adapt certain skills or ways of navigating. That certain other men just are gone. And these men have had way more than I will ever have in my life. These men had mothers, fathers, families, money. They had a car to sleep in. They had clothes. They had support systems. They had people that would give them a couch to sleep on if it came to it. But they lacked the one thing that is crucial to making it, and that is the fire, the warrior spirit. They were so manipulated and gullible by outside noises that they cave. I will never shut up. I will never be silenced. And I will never cower at this system, any and all aspects of this system. And I challenge any and all men to stand up and fight with me. Because this is what they fear the most. This is what they fear. They don't want this. They don't want men talking. They don't want men calling out the bull. They don't want men acknowledging their spirit in their fight. They don't want men understanding what is inside them and how to channel it and use it and adapt it. They don't want any of this. I will not stand by and tolerate this crap anymore. The youth of our country and our world are terrified. They're lost. They have nothing and no one to look up to. All they see, and I don't care who gets mad at me and wants to come at me for this one, all they see are weak, pathetic, disgusting men, and specifically Caucasian men. That's all they see. There's no fight. There's no spirit. There's no drive or desire. There's no anything. It's all, well, everything is against me. I'm just going to stay in here and shut up. Or I guess I'm just going to go on Netflix today and blah, 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 blah. Or I want to go on the game and do all this. Nobody has passion. Nobody wants to speak and talk about stuff. They just want to go and do these creature feature things and these comfort things. Drink alcohol, smoke this, shoot that, or stare at these stupid monitors and boxes and phones. Because they don't want to deal with the truth. They don't want to handle reality. And they don't want to recognize that they got a fight on their hands. Because they don't have the fire in them. And they have not been around real men to understand and learn things and adapt the necessary abilities to survive, adapt, and fight. I'll tell you this, I used to use a lot of things as a challenge. Okay, like I knew when I was 18 that my family stuff was bad. And I had a lot of things told to me about what was going to happen to me, the statistics, the incarceration numbers. I mean, guys, like, you got to understand, like in the 90s and early 2000s, they always were trying to put fear porn in you. Oh, if you don't go to college, it's this. If you don't do that, it's this. If you're 18 to 20-year-old man and you don't do this, you're going to be in prison. If you're blah, 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 it's going to be, all you ever hear is this kind of crap. And all I've ever done is overcome and beat every stupid single odd that they've ever thrown in my face. A lot of the times I didn't realize that's what was going on. No, because you have to understand. I only had a couple of years of freedom before I had intercourse, which led to conception, and I had a kid. And it wasn't even months after that is when, I remember that woman was trying for the DNA. But they couldn't find me because whatever employment that somebody gave them was not my employment. So they couldn't give it to me when she wanted to do it to me. And I was so caught up in the child support because it was new, it was fresh. It just destroyed my life. I'm 24, 25 years old I'm trying to survive on $130 every 2 weeks and take care of my kid. That I really was oblivious to a lot of things that I was overcoming and that I had proven wrong. Like, I did a lot of this without my family. There was 1 or 2 times my mother, when my son was very, very little, I mean like in diapers still, my mother came around and saw him. And I mean, like, there's just been so many different things. Like, I don't know how many times I was told, you'll never have a job, you'll never be able to keep a job because of the child support and the other things involved with it. And up until when I went to prison for child support, I always proved everybody wrong. And the other thing, and the things about the job thing, I proved everybody wrong. I never relied on people for no transportation when I didn't have my own transportation. I always did it myself. I always had my own clothes. Always had my own whatever. And then when people would find out my child support or find other things in my personal life, people refused to believe that I was doing this and I had nothing. And then when I was either forced to let people in my life, or I was stupid and let them in because I was thinking with my little head, people just get taken aback by it. And then the other thing that it is true, even when I did have a relationship, I really never let nobody do anything or help me. That's the truth. Like, I remember the last relationship, like the real relationship I was in. Her name was Brandy. I know she's not going to hear this. I don't care to say her name. That girl tried for a long time to do stuff for me, and I didn't let her. I'm serious as a heart attack, guys. Like, I was living someplace that I wasn't from, nothing. And all my interest and my stuff was nothing that was from that area. This girl would go out of her way to drive and get stuff from where I was from, or my interest and my hobbies. I didn't allow any of it, because I've never taken from anybody, never asked for nothing. That's like something I've had bosses discover my check stubs and have been freaked out because of my health or my diet. I'm serious. Like, I had a really, really good general manager, and I stuck up for somebody. Dude was taking care of his mother, and she was on unemployment. And he was helping her pay the bills and stuff. They were coming hard on food. I knew him. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I knew the kid. I knew him. Okay? I got him the job, to be honest with you. And I let him take some food. He got caught, and I didn't know it. I took the blame. Nobody knew my situation, and the general manager was about to be doing some termination for theft. And he just looked at me, and he's like, "You've been working here for years." And he was like, "I don't ever hear your mouth. I don't ever you're different." And he was like, "Why would you do this, or what is going on here?" And the dude was in there too with him, and I just looked at him, and he was scared. And the dude's 20-something. He's scared, lives with his mom. He's helping her pay the bills because she's on unemployment. I just stood up and said, "Hey, I did this. I blah, 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 blah." And he just kept looking at me and shaking his head, and he told the other guy to get out. And then everybody's out of the office, and it's just me and him, and we're talking. He's like, "Tell me the truth about this, seriously." He's like, "I'm not going to do nothing." He's like, "You done said what you said, and everybody's a witness to it." He's like, "But let me hear the truth out of your mouth." So I told the man the truth. He goes in the computer system to the payroll, and he looks at the previous pay period. He gets my check stub. He sees what my arrearage and my monthly order is he sees a monthly support order of the $770 or $780, and then he sees my arrearages. That man about fell out of that chair. He looks at me and he says, "I got 2 boys, 20-something and 19 years old," and he says, "There's no way in God's earth I could do this. And if my kids get child support, I can't take care of them." He just stopped, and he says, "If you ever need food," he says, "you have somebody get you food here, or you have somebody contact me, and I'll get you the money or get you the food." Believe me, guys, I know what it is to fight. I've been doing this for so freaking long. It just becomes second nature, because all I've ever done is go against numbers and against statistics and odds. The work thing is hard. It's extremely hard, because you don't have the luxuries everybody else has. You have to fight. You have to fight. You got to fight for your food, and you got to fight for your pecking order at work. You can't let the child support and other things get in the way of it, because you still have to. You're still a man. You can't let people walk all over you. I don't think any of it's ever going to get easy. But it's what's ingrained in me. For good or for bad, it's all I know is to fight. And to run my mouth. And to speak up. And so what if you don't get instant gratification? Speak up. Tell your story. Stand up against these atrocities and these degradations that are happening to boys, our sons, our grandsons, and us as men. Stop being ashamed of being angry and fighting. Stop being ashamed and feeling guilty of wanting to have answers and to demand to understand why things are happening the way they are. I've heard every excuse and every single thing about you need to shut up and you need to stop doing this and you need to not fight or care so much or speak. You can kiss my ass. The biggest crime that's happening right now is no men are speaking up and saying anything against this, especially Caucasian men are not doing anything. They're not saying a freaking word about the disgusting things portrayed on TV and the internet about us. How we look like stupid, nasty, you know what, sticking fingers in our mouths like it's an eggplant, wearing these nasty, stupid, disgusting women's clothes with your disgusting, stupid pedicures and your... All the while, our sons and grandsons and the 20-some-year-old men in here are sitting here disgusted at us, laughing at us. They have no role models. They have no one to look up to or listen to. There's no inspiration because there's nobody running their mouth. Nobody's fighting. Nobody has no passion in their voice because they're afraid of somebody saying they're toxic masculinity or they have anger management. Kiss my ass. I don't have anger management. I'm Irish. It's in my blood. I know how to act when I leave my home. I don't act like a lunatic. I don't run my mouth. But I'll be darned if somebody tells me how to behave and act in my home. It's in my blood. It's where I come from. You can't silence my fire. You can't stop my passion. It's what I was born with. It comes from my grandparents and my great-grandparents. I now know why I act the way I do, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm only ashamed of certain things I lack because it's prevented me from maybe having that one or two friendships that are probably crucial to my mental health. I'm fully mature to admit my mistakes and my downfalls, guys, but that's the thing. You keep those to the vest. You don't tip those out to people. That's another thing I don't like about men today. You idiots, shut up. Stop airing your dirty laundry out in public. Like, seriously, all you do is let your sons and everyone look how weak and dumb you are. Like, my goodness, man, stop with the petty stuff. And I'm telling you again, the worst thing we're doing as men is sitting here and shutting up. Because everybody looks at you as a wuss, a coward, and no backbone, and that you're okay with everything that's going on, and that's going to continue to go on. The warrior spirit is important. It's very important to understand why you are the way you are. And I know it's not for everybody, and I don't care. I used to care because I didn't know why I was. You're always told something's wrong or different. But now I know that's not the case. It's because of who I am. I think a lot more men need to do some searching, some digging to see where they come from and who they are. It might really help you guys understand a lot of things in your life, in your past, and in your future. I'm serious as hard. That was a really, really eye-opening experience when I figured out for certain where I come from. Like I said, it answered so many questions. And then so many other things made sense in my life. I recently found out why I got my full name. My grandmother named me. I know that for a fact. My parents did not name me. My dad's mother named me. And I now know why she named me what she named me. Combine that with me knowing what my blood is, I'm pretty sure I know why I have my fire and my passion, and I know why, no matter how bad I've had certain aspects, not everything, but certain things in my life, and why certain things maybe continue to happen or other things pop up. It's because I can overcome them, because I have the fight. I have the spirit. And it's the opposite side trying to tempt me or to get me to feel like I can't do it or I don't have whatever. They want to suppress it. I won't let it happen. I won't let it happen. I won't. The only thing that can make me feel a type of way is myself shutting down. And you just have to be aware of your body. Spiritually, physically, mentally, all that. You have to be aware of it so you know when something's coming. Other than that, nobody can stop me. I know this because I've been through enough. I've been through enough that I know that I'm my own worst enemy. That sometimes things get bad in my life if I do let other people in or if I listen to other people. That's because I was younger and didn't have the experience I have now. I'm going to tell you this too, guys. Probably something that a lot of men need to go through because it will help. You have to be alone, gentlemen. You have to be alone. I will tell you that's probably the one saving grace of my life is I've had the ability to be alone in aspects and phases. Because, gentlemen, you don't realize you need to be alone until you are alone. And then it hits you like, man, this is what I need. You need to be yourself. You need to understand who you are and why you are. Most importantly, guys, you need to have the fight. You need to have that freaking fight in you, man. To get up every single day. Gentlemen, if I've done this, you guys can do this. You've got to have the fight. You have to have that fire in you to stand up and speak out against any and all of this. To overcome the stupid women, the support orders, the alimony orders, everything. You have to. Even though it's bad for you, you have to look at your sons, your grandsons, and everybody else around you. Because people are looking and watching and listening to everything. And the longer you go with you being quiet and doing nothing, the more irrelevant you become. I don't want men to become irrelevant like I've become to where, I really don't exist to anybody. There's a lot of you guys have got a lot of good things going. You need to speak up and use your voice. Stop caring what other... Let me rephrase this. Stop thinking about the peace sleeve. Stop thinking about TNA. You know what's right from right and wrong from wrong. Speak up. Stand against this crap. Stop being afraid of not being included or getting that stupid TNA. What the heck do you guys need to understand that none of this is safe for you and worth it? It's not. It's not. This is because there's no fathers or nobody speaking for their kids. Nobody has a fire to say whatever because they're so afraid of being cut off from these stupid women. It's not the end-all, be-all, fellas. I'm here to tell you this. It's not. There is a simple pleasure and joy of going to sleep on your own and waking up on your own without the crap. There's a certain kind of joy coming home from a whatever kind of day, and you don't have to put up with crap or worrying about catering to some of their shit or for their nonsensical garbage. Again, guys, this isn't the 50s, 60s, and 70s. This isn't. You are being targeted for one reason and one reason only. Stop giving them the voice and the platform and take it back for yourselves and for the next generation and other generations that come after them. Because one way or another, together we have to stand up against this and speak out. It doesn't take one, it takes all of us to do this. It might take one voice or two voices to start the fire, to ignite it again. But gosh darn it, we can do this. All of us can do this. Stop with the indoctrinations. Stop listening to idiots. Stop caring about the opposite gender. Stop caring about inclusivity. Stop caring about fucking standing up for what's right from wrong. Stop worrying about the isms. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It is not ism to stand up for your kind and yourself and your heritage and your background. It's not. That's just normal human functionality. Stop being afraid to walk away from this crap. The worst thing you can do is be quiet. The worst thing you can do is continue to listen and watch these stupid YouTube and whatever crap on these social media apps. All they do is fill you with nonsensical lies and ideologies. They don't tell you to use your voice and speak up. They don't tell you to tap into your fire and your intuitions. They tell you to donate now. Buy my. Hey, gentlemen. Any of these art drawings, these stupid comics, these dumb hoodies, and these stupid softwares, are any of these things encouraging you or telling you to stand up and speak against these things? And are any of these material things telling you how to better yourselves or how to survive the real world? Any of these things telling you or explaining to you maybe how you feel the way you do and where it comes from? No. They just want to keep you beat down. They want to keep you in a corner. All the while, you're filling their coffers with the little bit you have. And make no mistake about it, gentlemen, when your coffers are empty and you turn around and need the whatever, ain't no one going to be there. I thank you, Lazarus, for making that video. That was a very, very, very powerful video. And I see this all the time. I see it everywhere. The younger men are lost. They are so lost. They're so lost and they're so weak. They're so simply weak. It makes me disgusted. It does. I mean, it really is the truth. They're so caught up on their phones and they're so caught up on this female stuff. And then when something goes wrong or these women attack them, like, man, they're left there beaten, cowered in the corner crying, and it's because they ain't never had no guidance. Ain't nobody telling them that it's okay to be angry. Ain't nobody telling them it's okay to walk away. Ain't nobody telling them it's okay to defend themselves. Hey, gentlemen, it's okay to defend yourselves. It's okay to say no. It's okay. Look, I don't condone whatever kind of actions, but I'll be darned if I let a woman put their hands on me. And I'll be darned if I told my kids to cower in a corner because a stupid woman raised their voice or raised their hand. That doesn't fly with me or my kids. You're not going to get away scot-free because you have a vajiji and some tatas. It ain't going to happen. There was a saying when I was a kid, and it holds true to this day. You act like a man, you get dealt with like a man. We need more warriors. We need more warriors. We need more fighters. We need less grifters. Less video messengers, video prophets, blah, 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 blah. You're weak, pathetic losers who think you're somebody because you have fancy thumbnails and you have crazy, stupid graphics on your 15-minute videos. It's all entertainment, man. It's entertainment. That ain't nothing. I could care less about it. I use it for entertainment, for a 2-minute distraction. Other than that, it's garbage. And you want to know how I know you guys are crap? Because your stupid community tabs. Oh, it looks like my views are down. Oh, it looks like this is that. I won't be doing anything for blah, 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 blah. Hey, guys, go to hell with that. I only didn't make no stupid videos for how long? Because I was down in the dumps. Like, physically didn't know what was wrong. Not to mention that I'm sitting here fighting some serious fights right now. And I didn't necessarily at that time have the mental fortitude to wanting to be making videos. Oh, my views are down. I'm not going to do nothing. That's because you ain't getting any stupid attention and money, oh gosh, guys. Those aren't warriors. Those aren't nothing. That's disgusting. It's vanity. It's vanity. We need more warriors. We need more fighters. I'm serious. This is depressing because I understand at some point, guys, the question is going to be, what are we fighting for? Well, I know what I'm fighting for. Do you know what you're fighting for? If you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything, gentlemen. It's been Reviving Real News.